Is it possible that Venus, our neighboring planet, could have once harbored life? This question has intrigued many a scientist and space enthusiast over the years. Venus, the second planet from the Sun, is our closest planetary neighbor. In many ways, it's like Earth's twin. Similar in size, gravity, and composition, it's an enigmatic celestial body that has always sparked our curiosity. Yet there's a paradox when it comes to Venus. Today, it's known for its hostile conditions, with surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead and an atmosphere thick with carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid clouds. But could it have been different in the past? Could Venus have once been a more hospitable place, possibly even home to life forms? The mystery of Venus is a puzzle waiting to be solved, a cosmic riddle that beckons us to explore. So let's dive into the history of Venus and seek the answers hidden in the sands of time. Our journey begins 4.5 billion years ago with the formation of Venus. The birth of Venus, like its planetary siblings within our solar system, unfolded from the solar nebula, a colossal cloud of gas and dust left over from the sun's formation. As this nebula cooled, solid particles began to collide and stick together, forming larger and larger clumps, a process known as accretion. Over eons, these clumps grew into planetesimals and eventually into full-fledged planets. Venus, our next-door neighbor and near twin in size, was born in this cosmic nursery. The young Venus was a world of fiery volcanism and violent collisions, a world in the throes of creation, but it was also a world of promise. Early in its history, Venus may have been a far cry from the inhospitable inferno we know today. Believe it or not, Venus might have had conditions quite similar to Earth. It's probable that Venus once possessed a more temperate climate and possibly even liquid water. Water, that miraculous molecule, the cradle of life as we know it. Imagine oceans, perhaps even rivers and rain, gracing the surface of this now torrid world. Just like Earth, Venus would have had a protective magnetic field, shielding it from the relentless solar wind. This magnetic field, generated by the planet's internal dynamo, would have helped to maintain a stable atmosphere, enabling water to exist in liquid form. But as we'll see, the story of Venus is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the precarious balance that makes a world habitable. The Venus we know today, a hothouse world with surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead, is a stark contrast to this early, potentially life-nurturing Venus. However, things didn't remain this promising for long. The fascinating tale of Venus's transformation from a potentially habitable world into the hottest planet in our solar system is a story for another scene. But for now, let's remember Venus as it might have been, a world of potential, a world of promise, tragically lost to time. Venus underwent a catastrophic change known as the Runaway greenhouse effect. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It's a story of a planet losing its water, its most precious resource, to solar radiation and a gradual accumulation of carbon dioxide in its atmosphere. Let's step back for a moment. Water, as we know, is a fundamental ingredient for life as we perceive it. Now, imagine Venus once brimming with this life-sustaining element. Solar radiation, however, turned out to be quite the villain in this cosmic tale. Over a course of many eons, solar radiation began to strip Venus of its water. The water molecules in the upper atmosphere were broken down into hydrogen and oxygen. The hydrogen, being lighter, escaped into space, leaving the oxygen behind. But our tale doesn't end there. The oxygen didn't just float around aimlessly. Instead, it reacted with various elements and compounds on the planet, one of which was carbon. The result, carbon dioxide, a potent greenhouse gas. Now, greenhouse gases are not inherently evil. In fact, they're necessary to keep a planet warm enough to sustain life. But on Venus, the scales tipped too far in one direction. The accumulation of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere led to a phenomenon known as the runaway greenhouse effect. This is where things heated up, quite literally. The carbon dioxide trapped the solar heat, causing Venus to warm exponentially. Over time, Venus, our neighboring planet, became a hellish world with surface temperatures hot enough to melt lead. What was once a planet possibly teeming with oceans and perhaps even life turned into the hottest planet in our solar system, hotter than even Mercury, the planet closest to the sun. This drastic transformation made Venus a seemingly unlikely place for life as we know it. But as we'll see in the next scene, the story of life on Venus may not be as cut and dry as it seems. Stay tuned. Despite these hostile conditions, scientists have found signs that might suggest the presence of life on Venus. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could life possibly exist on this inferno of a planet? Well, life as we know it might not. But let's take a closer look at what scientists have discovered. In the upper layers of Venus's atmosphere, where the temperatures are relatively milder, a gas called phosphine has been detected. Now, phosphine is interesting because on Earth, it's produced by bacteria in oxygen-starved environments like swamps or the intestines of animals. It's not a gas we'd expect to find on a planet like Venus unless there's something producing it. And that something could be, you guessed it, microbial life. This discovery has sparked a flurry of scientific debates. Some experts argue that we don't fully understand the chemistry of Venus's atmosphere. Perhaps there's a non-biological process yet unknown to us that's creating phosphine. Others suggest that the detection of phosphine could be a mistake, a blip in the data that's been misinterpreted. But there's another group of scientists, the optimists, who are intrigued by the possibility that life, however small, might be clinging on in the harsh atmosphere of Venus. They believe that further study of this phosphine could provide clues to the existence of life beyond Earth. The debate is far from over. Research is ongoing, with space agencies around the world planning missions to Venus to investigate this mysterious phosphine. These missions will carry instruments capable of detecting signs of life, even if they are as minute as bacteria. It's an exciting time in the world of astrobiology. Every discovery, every debate, brings us a step closer to answering one of the most profound questions. Are we alone in the universe? While the presence of phosphine doesn't confirm life on Venus, it certainly sparks a tantalizing possibility. The mystery of life on Venus is far from solved, and the future of Venus exploration is bright. As we look ahead, we see a roadmap filled with promising missions, each one designed to peel back another layer of Venus's enigmatic past and its potential for life. One such mission is NASA's Veritas, an acronym for Venus Emissivity, Radioscience, INSAR, Topography, and Spectroscopy. With its launch planned for the late 2020s, this mission aims to understand Venus's geological history, which could provide clues about whether the planet was ever habitable. By using a synthetic aperture radar, Veritas will map the planet's surface and study its rock types, helping us understand Venus's geological activity and the potential existence of water in its past. Alongside Veritas, there's Da Vinci Plus, short for Deep Atmosphere Venus Investigation of Noble Gases, Chemistry, and Imaging Plus. This mission intends to plunge through Venus's thick atmosphere to analyze its gases and other elements. The aim? To find out if Venus ever had an ocean and was possibly capable of supporting life. Da Vinci Plus will provide the first high-resolution pictures of Venus's tesserae, the geological features that are comparable to Earth's continents, suggesting that Venus has tectonic plates. These missions represent just the tip of the iceberg. More agencies worldwide, including the European Space Agency and the Indian Space Research Organization, have Venus in their sights, planning missions to further unravel the planet's mysteries. It's an exciting time for Venus exploration. Each mission brings us closer to answering the tantalizing question, did Venus ever host life? Yet even as we inch towards a potential answer, we know that each discovery will only lead to more questions, more mysteries to solve. Whether we find evidence of life or not, the exploration of Venus will continue to push the boundaries of our knowledge and understanding. So, did Venus ever host life? The answer is still up in the air. We have journeyed through the enigmatic story of Venus, from its formation to the runaway greenhouse effect that transformed it into a hothouse. This is a planet that shares many similarities with Earth, yet took a dramatically different path.